Recording in progress.
Recording in progress. Notion.
Why does she sound like such a bitch?
She literally does. She sounds like a fucking asshole. So, tell me what you know about the show Charmed.
First off, hey witches.
Shit. Hey, witches. Fuck. Hey, you could never guess what we're talking about today.
Charmed is about witches.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I know.
Oh, all right. Well, you're not wrong. They were talking about Charmed. Not the one that's on Netflix. That's 2018 to 2022 question mark or 2020.
We're talking about the
This
vintage
is
one.
yeah, the original. So Charmed is a fantasy drama series. It aired from 1998 to 2006 on the WB, which I don't even think that's around anymore.
Is that the Warner Brothers?
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but the channel was called the WB. I'm pretty sure it was owned by Warner Brothers.
The Google, the Facebook, the WB.
Yeah. So Charmed is about three sisters known as the Charmed Ones, and they're the most powerful witches in the world, I think. And they use the power of three to protect innocents from evil, and they're simultaneously attempting to maintain normal lives in San Francisco. Things to know about Charmed. There are three sisters, right? Power of three. Their whole thing is like power of three, the Charmed Ones. There's three sisters. They have the triquarta on, I know I'm probably saying that wrong, I'm sorry, on their Book of Shadows. So there's Prue, Piper, and Phoebe Halliwell.
P.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
P.
Yeah. There will probably be spoilers in this episode, but like we're only talking about season 1 and it's been out since 1998, so like I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, like I don't know what to tell you. Spoiler alert for 1998 TV show Charmed. So yeah, there's Prue. She's an anthropologist. She works at Buckland Auction House. She's the oldest one. She has telekinesis. There is Piper. She is a chef at a restaurant called Quake. She can freeze time. And when she freezes time, witches are unaffected. Everyone is affected except witches. And Phoebe, the youngest, is, I put like a freelancer in quotes because like sometimes she'll have jobs, but most of the time she's unemployed. She's kind of like a free spirit type of character, and she can see the future. She gets premonitions. They didn't really know they were witches until in the first episode, Phoebe comes back from, I think, New York. She was away, and then their Grams died. And they were like going through all the stuff at the house that Piper and Phoebe were already living in. Phoebe went up to the attic. They were playing with a spirit board. There was stuff going on with the spirit board. They're like, oh my God.
Is that like a Ouija board?
Yes. And something to know also is that their mom is dead also. So they have a dead mom and a dead grandma now. So Phoebe ends up going up to the attic and she opens up what is the Book of Shadows. And it has the triquarta on the front. Am I saying that right? I always say it wrong. It is triquarta, right?
That sounds Latin.
Yeah. Triquetra. Triquetra. Sorry.
Triquetra.
That's so much harder to say than what I was saying. Anyways, she finds the Book of Shadows, and then there's a spell like in the front. I can't really remember how it goes, but basically like it gives them their powers. And later in the like series, you see that Piper and Prue and also Phoebe, like in the room, had their powers when they were kids, but like they had to take them away to protect them from a warlock, which we'll get to in a minute. but they got them taken away and they couldn't even remember that they ever had powers. So Phoebe said the spell, they all got their powers. Piper and Prue are super mad because they're like, what the fuck? We didn't want to deal with this, but now they're magic. So now they're the charmed ones and they have to protect the innocents from evil like demons and warlocks. So warlocks they're kind of like witches, but they're kind of demonic. They're like bad witches, but they never get referred to that way. But their like main goal is to destroy witches, and specifically the charmed ones, because they want to steal their power. There's also things called white lighters and dark lighters. White lighters are like guardian angels. They protect and guide witches and future white lighters. And there's only one character that we meet that's a white lighter. And there's one character we meet that's a dark lighter. And they're kind of like, I know succubus is the term for like a female that seduces people, but like, I can't remember. I think it's incubus, right? So Darklighters are kind of like incubus, and they seduce women and they like absorb their energy. That's all like the non-monster, non-demony types of people that we meet in season 1. Questions so far?
Dark and light. Dark and white. Light?
White lighter and dark lighter.
Like white?
Yeah. White lighter and dark lighter.
Like lighter.
Yeah.
Okay. And they just seduce?
The dark lighters do. We only meet one.
So like
and
Ted Bundy shit?
well, what the white lighter character, whose name is Leo, who we'll get to, he says that their whole purpose is to seduce women and absorb their energy or whatever. But we only meet one dark lighter, and he falls in love with one of his victims, and he basically becomes like a stalker, abusive ex-boyfriend, and he's trying to get this girl named Daisy. But Leo, our like white lighter friend, is protecting her. And apparently Darklighters have like this poison, and this guy had a crossbow, I guess, that was dipped in the poison. And it was poison specifically made to kill white lighters. So I guess they probably also have some beef, which is unsurprising. I don't know.
So,
I don't know if we meet more of them in the future seasons.
So they're just like put some of that stupid Jeopardy music over that pause, because they're like, I'm still caught up on my fucking computer being a moron. They're for those of you who don't know, my computer's a moron. And I won't even go into it because if I do, I'll go on a rampage. So they're like witches, warlocks, demons, magic.
They're magic. They're not witches or warlocks.
You know what be fucking me up? It's that every single piece of media that we consume, like witches are good or witches are bad, or demons are good or demons are bad, or like it's not consistent.
No, it's not, because witches are generally like good in this series, but warlocks are bad. White lighters are good, dark lighters are bad.
And they're
Demons
like
are bad.
Humans are bad?
Demons
Oh,
are
I
bad.
thought you said humans, and I was like,
Humans are good
can't
and
do
bad.
anything. Humans are weak.
Humans eat shit.
I thought you said humans eat shit, and I was like,
I had a feeling you were gonna think that's what I said. I was like, damn, I probably need to enunciate more.
It's fine. I hear like every Taylor Swift lyric wrong, so it's fine. Okay, so are they just an entirely different species?
So witches are, I'm not sure if they're kind of human, but I'm gathering
Yeah,
that
the,
like
the
they're
white lighters
not.
and the dark lighters.
The white lighters and the dark lighters are former mortals. I don't know about the dark lighters. I'm
Former
assuming,
mortals?
yeah. So I'm
The
assuming,
fuck does that mean?
so with Leo, the white lighter that we know, I will just briefly say the only other thing I have written down for him, he's the love interest of Piper. I love him. He's great.
Piper the middle
Um,
child.
yes, she is my
Okay.
favorite.
I like
Um,
that name.
I know, I love that name so much.
I named a
Uh,
stuffed animal Piper.
oh,
My ex-boyfriend got
oh,
custody when we broke up.
oh,
She smelt like the inside of a Hallmark store.
that's kind of nice.
You know what it smells like, right?
Yeah,
Like it smells warm and
smells like
spicy
warm and spicy, but also a little bit like paper stock.
and kind of maybe potentially like fresh laundry.
Yeah.
It's a very distinct smell. I don't know if I don't know if it's like this could be a thing because I know this is a thing at places. They could have like specific like air fresheners or candles or something like that
Mm,
made for them to give it a specific scent
yeah,
because
it
I
could
know
be.
like you know how like I don't you've not been at Disney, have you?
Yeah, I have. Disney like
Oh,
pumps like scent through
they
the
pump
air
scents.
or whatever.
So maybe Hallmark also pumps scents
Yeah.
and
People say
makes
that Target does that to like make you buy stuff.
Target's trying to make us high.
I don't know, that's what I heard.
I believe it. All them Target bitches. Me.
Same. Yeah.
Nah, you an Amazon bitch.
Unfortunately. Well, Andrew's always sending me stuff, and then I'm on the app, and then I'm browsing. I'm like, fucking A, I don't
I was
want to
about to
give Jeff
say
Bezos my money. That's
it's
why I'm on Etsy. I'm an Etsy bitch first and foremost.
oh,
Amazon secondarily.
I'm an Etsy bitch. 100% an Etsy bitch.
Oh my God, I gotta show you some shit I found on there the other day. I was like, I had a moment. Anyways, um,
Dude, how is the air up by you?
so bad.
Have you been outside today?
Yeah, I took out the I'm like, Echo messaged me, and he was like, what'd he say? He said, "Hope you're doing all right with the air quality, dude." And I said, "Thank you for your concern. I appreciate it, but I barely go outside." Then I went out to take out the garbage, and I was like, "Oh my God,
And you were like,
yeah, so bad."
so for context, Milwaukee and the Midwest area have the worst AQI air quality index in the world right now because of Canadian wildfires.
Are we
I
worse than Dubai right now?
I believe so,
Oh my God.
but I look.
I read that it was like last I read it was like almost worse than Dubai, but it wasn't quite there yet.
Dubai in India? Du
Isn't it?
Dubai. Okay, found it.
They have such bad like car pollution.
Worse than Dubai.
Oh my God.
Like 3 times as worse.
Well, shit, I'm glad.
Dubai's Dubai's AQI is at 76. Milwaukee's was at 259 earlier today.
Oh my God. There were people outside today working like in my like little courtyard area, removing bushes, like
They should
working.
be wearing masks.
I didn't notice if they were wearing masks.
If they're wearing masks, like they should be fine. Even so, up in Milwaukee, it's at dangerous levels up in Milwaukee and Madison and like Wisconsin area. Down here, it's at unhealthy levels where people, let's see, um, senior citizens, children, and people with lung and heart disease should be wearing masks or staying indoors. I don't have any of those. I'm not a child or a senior citizen. Um, but I can literally see with my eyeballs without glasses on how
Same.
bad the air quality is. We'll post pictures. It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
You can see the haze at
Yeah.
like less than a quarter of a mile away.
Yeah.
So like you cannot clearly see a quarter of a mile away.
Yeah.
That probably also explains why I was out of breath when I went to I had a doctor's appointment and I was running late, so I gave my car keys to the valet parker and he took it and parked it. And I realized seconds after I gave him my keys that I forgot my phone in the car. And when I was reading the ticket, I saw that um, the company that does the valet parking is not responsible for lost cell phones at all. And so I was panicking and my anxiety was going through the roof because I did not know how to get home from where I was. And so I talked to the receptionist. I was like, "Oh my God, is it okay if I go check to make sure that my phone is still here because it's not responsible for cell phones and I want to make sure that my cell phone is still there and because I'm panicking and I don't know how to get home from here, so I need GPS and if I need to," and he's just like, "Yes." And so I ran outside looking for my car because I didn't know where the fuck it was because I didn't park it. And like
Yeah.
I got to my car and I was like, "Oh, good, my phone's still there. My phone's still here." I was like, I don't trust humanity today. And this man is just like, bitch.
Why didn't you bring it in with you?
I forgot it.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
And I was like panicking, running. And like, I'm like, look, I'm overweight. My heart is not in the best condition, but it's better than it was a couple weeks ago. But like, I don't get out of breath when I'm like just walking anymore because I've been taking care of my body. Okay. And so I ran to the car and then I ran back inside and I was just like, it was probably that bad because of the air quality.
Oh no.
Anyway, the man did not steal my phone.
Well, good. I'm
So,
glad.
okay, so Piper and Leo are love interests.
Yeah. Anyway,
Off that tangent.
yeah, so yeah, Piper, Leo. What was the question? White light. Oh yeah, white lighters. So I'm assuming dark lighters are former mortals because Leo told us that he used to be mortal because
Oh,
he used to be a human back around the end of World War II because
what?
was like he was some kind of like army nurse and he said he felt this sharp pain and then all of a sudden he woke up, he was like in a white room and there was all these people around him that were he later realized were other white lighters. They offered him immortality in exchange for like being a white lighter and he was like cool. So he did that.
So
But
I
when
can
he met Piper, he was like, "Oh man, I wish I could give that up and live a mortal life with you and have kids and everything."
I can say that the sharp pain was probably shrapnel.
Probably, probably, probably.
I studied World War II in like eighth grade. That's all I can say.
And he asked Piper if she wanted him to give up his white lighting business to be with her. Like he was just talking about how happy like helping people made him and she was like obviously yeah, but like then you couldn't be a white lighter, so no. It was really sad. Season 1 made me cry 3 separate times, which I was really not expecting at all. Because Charmed 1, it's just like really old. And like that doesn't mean something can't be good if it's old. It's just like I don't know. I wasn't expecting a show like
They weren't
Charmed.
as in touch with their feelings.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
I feel like a lot of newer modern day television show and media in general, the creators are more in touch with feelings, more attuned to emotions
Mhm.
because society as a whole is starting to, I'm smart right now. Society as a whole is becoming more in tune with emotions and expressing emotions to avoid bottling up emotions, to
Mhm.
avoid mental catastrophe. That's cute. I like that.
Yeah.
Um, I'm using that next time I have a mental breakdown.
Same.
had a mental catastrophe on Sunday.
I had a mental catastrophe yesterday morning.
So people nowadays are just much more in tune with emotions and feelings and expressing emotions and feelings, and it shows
Hmm.
in the media that we consume.
Yeah, we're more emotionally intelligent, I think.
Dude, I'm emotionally intelligent as fuck. I'd like to think.
Same. So yeah, because of that, I think Darklighters are probably also formerly mortal, but we didn't
Like,
really get any information about that. So,
how are you formerly mortal?
well, because Leo was formerly mortal, like he was a human, and then he died, and then he wasn't. Not
Like
because he was a dead
ghosts.
person, because he got turned into a white lighter.
It's like ghost.
No, because he's physical. Like he's a physical being. He's a physical being. Like he has power. Like he can. The powers I remember him having, he can heal. He can't heal himself though. He can only heal others. He can levitate. He can also cloak others' presence, which is where that whole thing came into play with that like Darklighter who was like a stalking, abusive ex boyfriend to that one girl he fell in love with. Leo was like cloaking her presence so like the Darklighter couldn't find her. So once he shot Leo with that arrow and he was being poisoned, like his power was drained from him and like he couldn't really cloak her anymore. So
Do 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 the humans know about witches and dark lighters and white lighters?
um
Why are they not called light lighters?
Lightlighters. Lightlighters and Darkdarkers. I don't know. I yeah, White Lighters and Dark Lighters are both very silly names. So two humans. One I'll start with because he's just like in and out of the series, and then the other one is more permanent. One human saw Prue levitate like a monster, like a demon, and a little boy, because the demon was attacking the little boy. And this was the first time she like did some telekinesis with her hands. So like that was a big deal. And it was in a park, like a public park, and this guy was stretching like way behind her. And he saw this and he
Like
ended up being a reporter.
stretching?
Yeah, he was like stretching to like run or something. And he saw this happen, and so he tracked her down at her auction house where she works. And he's like, "Hey, so like what are you like, David Blaine? Like what's going on with this? Like are you Wonder Woman? Like what is it?" And eventually she does end up confessing to him that she's a witch because she needs to go and save somebody from this whole like situation that's going on with this particular demon, because he is so stuck on getting this story for his career. He like takes something out of her car, like some kind of wire or something, that so that she can't leave. And so he has a camera and she's like, fine, whatever, I am a witch, like whatever, like please fix my car so I can go save somebody. So he knew. I don't remember what happens to him. I don't think he forgets. I don't remember what happens to him, but they don't really get exposed, so nothing important, I guess.
Because his boss was probably like, Jeff, you're a fucking moron.
Probably. Oh, you know what? I remember. Prue, like, the reporter guy got knocked out by one of the demons, and his camcorder fell out of his hands because it's 98. And she took the tape out of the camera and she put it in her pocket. So he didn't have any proof.
He probably still went to his boss and was like, I found a witch. And his
Yeah.
boss was probably like, bro, this ain't Salem 1692.
Yeah, he had said something similar to someone at the police station, and they're like, hey. And I think the person he said it to was Andy, who is the other human that knows about witches, but he didn't for the majority of the first season. He was Prue's love interest, and he is actually like a childhood friend of the girls. And their relationship was very tumultuous because they were together, but then they weren't because Prue like had to keep bailing on him for witch shit, and like he obviously knew she was hiding something from him. And even when they were broken up, like she kept popping up in these like unsolved cases about like supernatural things, and her name keep popping up, or like she would be around the scene of the crime or something because she was trying to help, and he'd be like, hey, what the fuck? And she'd be like, I don't know, like, hi. So he found out, I think, like, I don't know, within the last 5 to 8 episodes of the season. And so yeah, those are the 2 humans that knew in the first season. And Andy was also a really good character. So yeah, he was a top. And I don't know how much else I want to say about him. So, because I don't know if you're gonna watch this.
The fan on my computer is making noises, but I don't know what the fuck the fan is.
The thing about MacBooks is that like the fan is like underneath, like where most fans are, but like the ports for the fan's air to come out are very small on the side. So like they're not very efficient fans. Do you have anything else running except for Zoom? Probably not, right?
I have like 17 tabs open on my web browser.
Oh, that's probably what it is.
Well, I don't know because I always have a ton open. Dude, I lost my 500 tabs that were open on my phone a couple weeks ago. All like 500 tabs that were open on my phone, and I had a mini crisis.
Girl, you gotta start using bookmarks.
My coworker was like, not the tabs.
I also have a lot of tabs that I wouldn't want to lose on my phone though, but I don't have that many.
It's
I have
currently at
21.
76.
Jesus Christ.
There
Why?
were 500.
That's wild. Wild and wacky.
It's stuff I might need. What
Is
if I,
it?
yeah, what if I need to know about if AI will be made illegal? What if I want to see the Neptunic flag?
Dude, if you want to know if AI will be made illegal, I'm sure that article that you have open will be
Look how pretty this gay
outdated.
flag is.
Yeah, that's the flag for gay men.
Nope, that's the Neptunic one. You know what that means? I didn't either.
That's the flag for gay men. Like
Nope, that's the
specifically gay
Neptunic
men.
one. It's for an individual who's attracted to both non-binary and female gender. It's got purple. Gay men doesn't have purple.
Oh.
It's
Well,
pretty.
that's confusing. I mean, I like it, but now I'm confused. Now I have to like look out for that. Make sure I don't think someone's a gay man when they're actually actually into NBs and women.
It's pretty. I like it.
It is pretty. I also really like the gay man. I didn't really know about the gay man flag until recently because I kept
I
seeing it. I was like, what is that? I bet you
I
like it. Your favorite color's in there.
Right. I didn't know about it until the Finch app because my bird has a gay man pride flag that
Mhm.
she carries around because it's pretty.
I was telling Andrew, like, oh my God, this is a whole other just no. Back
What were
on
you
track.
saying, Andrew?
No, we're back on track.
Tell me.
No. Oh, we can't get into the bi-pan discourse right now because, like, bi and pan,
Are different.
they are different, but they are not that different. Like, they mean very similar things.
They're similar but different.
Yes. And I feel both ways, right? I'm not going to get into the semantics of bi versus pan, but I'm talking about the flags. I very much prefer the pan flag. I think it's prettier and it's more fun to look at. But unfortunately, I just more identify with the word bi. I think it's just because of the age I grew up in or something. I don't know. So that's how I identify. Because I tried identifying as pan for a little bit, but it didn't feel right. So I identify as bi instead. But the
I
pan flag is so much more pretty. But I'm not going to identify as pan just because I think the flag is prettier. That's silly. They're both cute. Oh my God, fuck. Do you ever have ADHD?
every day of my life.
I swear I'm medicated. I took my
Why
vitamins
do you
today.
think I have 76 tabs open on my phone?
Oh, I'm so tired too. I think the more tired I get, like the worse it is. We talked about Piper, Prue, Phoebe, Leo, and Andy. Um,
Who's Andy?
Andy's the cop we just talked about.
Oh, okay.
Prue's love interest. This is a spoiler for like way later in the show, like not in season 1. There is a fourth half sister. I know they're all about power of three sisters, yada yada yada. There is a reason she comes into play. I will not say because it's a pretty big fat fucking spoiler, but her name is Paige. Her name also starts with P.
Oh my God.
And then, like I said, they use the symbol of the quiet triquetra, not triquerta, for the power of 3. If you don't know what the triquetra is, it's like a symbol that represents the quote unquote topologically simplest possible knot. It's basically like 3 loop-de-loops that interlock. And it's used in a lot of Celtic traditions.
You were like, if you don't know what a triquetra is, and I was like, Google it.
I mean, yeah, I think you should probably do that too, because I think me saying 3 loop-de-loops that interlock probably isn't doing it justice. It's used in a lot of Celtic traditions, but it's also used to represent other 3s in other cultures and traditions, like the Holy Trinity, for example. But like in like New Age, quote unquote New Age, pagan things, it's often used to represent like the triple goddess or like as a symbol of protection, things like that. While I was watching season 1, I was writing down different deities and creatures that came up in episodes that either I knew were like rooted in real mythology or folklore, or I thought might be rooted in real mythology and folklore. So I wrote down 3. And the first one that I wrote down, I really didn't know anything about him. And it turned out there was a reason for that. It's because he's fictional. He's not a real folkloric person. His name is Jobna. I'm not really going to talk about Jobna because he's not a real folkloric character. I will say the TLDR. He's a demon. He sucked the life force out of women to regain his youth, and then they turned into old ladies. The charmed ones banished him. The victim's youth was restored. All done. The 2 like actual folkloric mythology deities, whatever, that are in the show that I wrote down. And there might be more that I just didn't write down because maybe I was tired. I don't know. I think this is it though. There's Hecate and the Wendigo. They did Hecate so fucking dirty in this show. She was demonic and she was ugly and it was awful.
Was Hecate in the Owl House?
She was in Practical Magic.
I thought she was one of the characters in Azure, the Good Witch Azura.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think she was in the Good Witch Azura.
I mean,
You're
I
right.
don't remember that.
No, you're
This
totally
is
right.
also why I have a million tabs open.
She's like Azura's rival or whatever.
I see what they did there. They said enemies become lovers. Okay, so, and then was Hecate in anything else?
She was in Practical Magic. So we talked about in Practical Magic how they said her name incredibly wrong. I think they said Hecate in Practical Magic when they were calling on Hecate. So again, Hecate is the goddess of witchcraft, necromancy, transitions. But it's ironic that they did her so dirty, considering they're like, oh, the power of 3, the triquetra. Like when she's literally she's literally depicted as the triple goddess all the time. And this is how they decide to repay her? That's so fucking rude. Anyways, in Charmed, she's the queen of the underworld. She comes to Earth every 200 years and she has to find a wealthy man to marry and do the deed with, and then she has a demon baby. And in order to do this, she puts a spell on the guy. to make him like want to marry her. And the spell can only be broken by true love's kiss.
Oh.
She can be banished with a fancy dagger that I didn't write down the name of. On her fandom wiki page, it says her sons include Attila the Hun, Genghis Khan, and Ivan the Terrible, which I thought was an interesting detail because I don't remember that.
I wonder if Hecate was in Supernatural.
Could be. I don't
Hecate
know.
wasn't Supernatural.
Did they do her dirty? Wait, that's how she looks in Charmed.
Wait, hold on.
Are you on the Charmed wiki?
Yes. Maybe Hecate wasn't in Supernatural. Supernatural has a lot of episodes with pagan gods and goddesses and like Egyptian gods and like mythological gods and goddesses from different parts of the world and shit like that. And I figured, you know what? Maybe they do have one about Hecate and I just don't remember it.
Maybe if I ever actually finish watching Supernatural, write down the list of the ones that I recognize.
I specifically remember two about pagan gods, and one of them was a Christmas episode, and one of them was in the first or second season, and it was really spooky.
A spooky episode in Supernatural? No way.
So I always really liked the ones about the gods and goddesses because they put a lot of work into researching the
Research?
lore in the episode.
Yeah.
I don't know if the lore is correct because I did not look it up, admittedly. Um, but they put a lot of detail into the episode and like what the god or goddess did, how to like defeat them or send them on their way or whatever. It was very interesting.
I mean, in Charmed, you could argue they put a lot of detail into all the creatures that show up in there. Because, like, almost all of them have an entry in the Book of Shadows. But, like, the Wendigo and Hecate are fully not accurate to the folklore. The Wendigo really annoyed me. And I had to think about this because there's one Native American creature that you're not supposed to say the name of. And then I
Oh,
remember
the SW.
it's the flesh pedestrian.
The
Um
SW.
yeah, the flesh pedestrian.
Those are Navajo?
I think so. But
Are you
Wendigo is
able to type it? Are
mostly
you allowed to type it?
I don't I think so. You're just not really supposed to say it. But I wasn't sure if it was Wendigo or the other one, but it's the other one. So we're good. Um I'm pretty sure the other one is Navajo, but I'm not sure.
What did you call them? Flesh?
I called them flesh pedestrians because I that's how you can say them out
They,
loud without
they
saying
are Navajo.
Navajo. And Wendigos, I think I read that they're like from the Great Lakes area, the Plains
Plains and Great
area.
Lakes.
Yeah.
So
So,
this area.
yeah. Um so let me tell you what it says in Charmed first. So, they describe the Wendigo as an anti-Cupid, which is ridiculous. So the entry in the Book of Shadows in Charmed says, the Wendigo is a non-dead creature that roams the earth, destroying the good-hearted and those in love. His fate is to wander the earth, feasting on human hearts. The first Wendigo was a mortal who was betrayed by his sweetheart. In revenge for the treachery, he slew his love and ate her heart. Rather than savor the warmth of revenge, his heart was in turn turned to ice. During daylight hours and the phases of the moon, the Wendigo looks at you or I. Beware the Wendigo on the 3 days of the full moon when his strength and appetite are greatest. Beware being attacked and injured. He duplicates himself by slashing but not killing his prey. And the way to kill a Wendigo in Charmed is to take out the heart of the Wendigo, like the ice heart, and melt it with fire.
Okay.
So, and when I was reading the wiki for Wendigos, there was a part that said heart of ice and they look like werewolves. But then I looked at the site for it And it was literally like a TV show. It wasn't Charmed, but it was a TV show. I was like, okay, whatever. So what Wendigos actually are in folklore, I feel like a lot of us have heard of them. They are from Native American folklore. They possess humans to commit murder. Some cultures, it is said that Wendigos are created via human cannibalism.
I've heard that one.
Yeah, and the traditional look of what Wendigos look like, typically in like art, doesn't look like the werewolf looking thing that is in Charmed. Like it fully looks like a werewolf. Wendigos are like, they usually look very thin, skeletal. They can be very large. They have antlers. They have like a skull. They don't really have a face. They look very, very creepy. I don't even really like thinking about them because I'm a big scaredy cat.
Here,
I don't really know what to describe when I'm looking at how to describe it.
I think it's eating platypi.
Why platypi?
I don't know, but
That's so specific.
I'll send you the. Well, take a look at it. It's like a platypi
Oh my.
mixed with a cockroach that has ingested an entire human.
This is like modern art though, right?
This is from Encyclopedia Britannica.
Oh. Hmm.
I don't know how modern that art is. Oh, maybe those are fish
I don't know. Its mouth is freaking me out though.
from 1964.
Hmm.
Here's another one from 1979. Has a similar mouth, and those look like
Huh.
fish.
Yeah, those look like fish. In this episode with the Wendigo, Piper gets slashed by the Wendigo and she like, it's like werewolf rules. Like she turns into a Wendigo, and to make her turn back to normal, like they have to kill the one that turned her. And that's how they do it, is by melting the ice heart of the Wendigo.
Oh.
So yeah, wasn't a huge fan of how they did Wendigos in this. Like it seemed kind of silly to me, not nearly as frightening as actual Wendigo lore. Um and I am so the like the fact that Hecate is literally the triple goddess. And these bitches are like the power of three. Da 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 da. Like, make it make sense. And they made her the queen of demons or whatever. The queen of the underworld. And she has to put a spell on a man to marry him
Isn't,
and
isn't
have
that
a demon
Persephone's
baby.
job?
Yes. Yes, it is. And also Persephone, in addition, is also not a demon.
Okay.
I don't know if Charmed does that. Hopefully not, but I don't know. I was so fucking annoyed. And that was very early on in the season, so I was really like, oh no, like I really hope this isn't a fucking theme, taking pieces of folklore and mythology like way out of context. Like this is nothing like Hecate's lore at all.
What mythology is Hecate from?
Greek or Roman, I mean, like
Gonna find
both,
out.
I guess. Like, they're all Greek and Roman.
She is the Greek goddess of witchcraft, magic, and ghosts.
Correct. Is she not in Roman mythology also though? Because I mean, I'm not sure, but like, how Zeus and like Hades and all those other like major gods, they're also in Roman mythology, just under different names, like the planetary names.
We're gonna find out. We're finding out right now. Her Roman counterpart is trivia. That would be a good trivia question.
Mm. I felt like that was coming. That's really all I had for my notes. Charmed is like a very good series, I think. I think it was very surprising for me because I technically grew up watching Charmed, but not religiously, because I kind of just watched it whenever my mom watched it. And I think that's part of why it's a comforting show for me, is because it reminds me of my childhood. Like the opening of the show is just very nostalgic for me. If you remember from our what's that movie called? Uh what's that movie called that you didn't like, with the younger witches that were practicing like Wicca, like pretty realistic? Wicca. What the fuck was that movie called? Hold on.
The Craft?
Oh, did we? The Craft. Right? Yeah, right? Did we do that in season 1? Oh my god, we did. So in season 1, me and Echo did The Craft, and Kaija didn't like The Craft. I feel like we briefly talked about it
I
the
also was
following
going
episode.
through a mental catastrophe at that time.
We talked about in that episode how people were saying that Charmed is a ripoff of The Craft. Now, having refreshed my memory on Charmed, I don't really see it. Even Neve Campbell, who I love, who is the main character in The Craft, she's also in Scream. Sorry, she's not the main character in The Craft. She's one of the characters in The Craft. She said it was like a blatant ripoff of The Craft. It simply is not. It's just not. They did take that one song from The Craft though, and that's the opening song for Charmed, and it's amazing. If we didn't go on our tangents, this episode probably would have been only like 15 to 20 minutes long, so you're welcome. I'm still probably going to edit down just a little, but I'm probably going to keep most of it in. Do you have any questions about Charmed?
No, I think most of my questions were at the beginning when I was still upset about my computer.
Okay, so I'm sorry we've been a little inconsistent, but like, listen, spring and the beginning of summer have been a time, and we're adults with
It's our
jobs.
podcast, and we'll do what we want to.
Exactly.
You would cry too if it happened to you.
So this is going to be the last big episode of this season, right?
Yeah.
And then we're going to release a mini-sode after
A really
this.
mini sewed.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, we went on a lot of tangents this time, so we'll see what happens. It might be just a bonus. Thank you for listening. This is the time to leave us suggestions for what you want us to watch, to read, to listen to, etc., etc., etc.
To consume.
Let us know what you think by leaving a review and following us on social media.
You can find us on social media at Movie Witch Podcast on Instagram and Movie Witch Pod on Twitter.
If you like what you heard and want to help us grow and improve, please consider supporting us on Patreon for $2 or $7 per month. Our Patreon benefits include getting episodes a week early, unedited video versions of the episodes where you can see our pets. This episode, we saw a lot of Ziggy, a little bit of Delphine, a bunch of weird Kaija faces, and we also plan to put out exclusive Patreon bonus episodes.
You know, when we get patrons.
Right. We won't know what you want till you tell us, so.
We should tell them that we have patrons so that they sign up.
We do have a patron. So.
That patron gets bonus episodes.
Yeah.
And you could too.
Yeah. That patron is hoarding all of the bonus content.
I know her personally. I will tell her not to share.
and you know, it's there if you want it, but you gotta go get it. So all right, till next time. Bye, witches.
Bye, witches.